Okay, I want to start by saying that the very first video that I recorded for this particular channel, it seems to be stuck in iMovie because yesterday I did three movies, and the third movie that I was trying to transfer to YouTube, which was entitled Young Pharaoh, something about the truth or the riots or something like that, or dedication, thank you, whatever. Anyway, I'm saying all of that to say that if you are ready to go down the rabbit hole while taking the red pill, I do feel that you need to know some truth about the world that we are living in. And young Pharaoh, to me, is an excellent source of that information. The reason why I say that is because he is a wealth of information on a plethora of subjects. One being in particular that relates to what's going on now is the deep state, and that there's a war, like a war going on between, you know, certain people that have a certain amount of money and power in politics, and that Trump is not the man that we thought he was. Yeah, because a lot of people, even when I say his name, really do not like him. See, I can love you and not like you, but some people have a strong emotion of hatred and a strong dislike for this man, and I feel that that energy that they have for him is not based on the truth. It is really solely founded in a lie. That strong emotion of dislike that they have for him, um, is, I think, a fabrication of what he's really doing. It's not it's all a facade. That's the best way I can say it. What you thought you knew, you do not know about him. And myself included, I found out some stuff. I really didn't, I didn't think he was smart. I mean, I'm not saying to be a president. I'm not saying I'm the smartest person in the world by far. Um, I just didn't felt that he was suited for the job. I'm very happy that he's in the position that he's in. I really, really am. And I am very appreciative because I feel that everyone should have choices on their life. They should have choices. I'm trying to use words that are, because words have power and that fully engulf the meaning I would like to convey in a way that doesn't lessen the energy that I'm trying to convey. Do you understand? Anywho, all right. So, my very first video is not even on my page, Ascending Bonds of Consciousness, which I think is very funny. And it's still stuck to this day. I'm looking at it on my screen. But there are ways around that. We ain't even going to stress. We ain't even going to stress because what need to be done is going to get done. And if you're watching this, you're watching it for a reason. If you hear me, you hear me for a reason. If you feel me, you're feeling me for a reason. Even if you don't, if you have a strong dislike for what I'm saying, that's when you really need to pay attention. Basically, let me explain the deep state in a quick synopsis. The deep state is the people that are presently in power positions that have no compassion and sense of humanity for the humans in it or for the actual world itself. They're about total power and total control. And they, come to find out, do have most of the money in the world. This is not just a US thing. This is a global thing. So the deep state exists all over the world. Now, these people in the deep state positions of power have infiltrated so many facets of our world, whether it's the military or the CIA and the FBI. I think that's the reason why they started it in the first place, to the Freemasons, to the KKK. It's like so many facets that they're in, you know. in the pharmaceutical department. It's just, you name it. Any position that has a position of power, that's all I can say. Um, they have access to it. Okay, with all that being said, all this situation that's going on recently, I'm gonna tell you, to break it down in a nutshell, it's not even about race. It's not about race. See, because the whole purpose of the deep state was to keep us divided. I don't care if it's political parties that you were. That's a divide. Well, to religions with an S at the end, that's a divide. To nationality, that's a divide. To just every facet you could possibly think. So the reason why I created this channel is because if you're ready to go down the rabbit hole while taking the red pill, you will begin to see, and I like I said, I think, in my opinion, young Pharaoh has broken down the system in the most accurate way. You know, when you look back at, oh man, I mean, and he's connecting with people like for instance in the Matrix, the Patriots. He's connecting with people that are of like mind. And what I really, really need people to know, the reason why I did this video is because my goddaughter sent me a video today about a black guy getting pulled over by a white police officer. And he was not in compliance. He was not counting. And I understand, but whoever was with him, whether it was his girlfriend or his sister or whoever it was, you could tell she was recording, and she was saying, officer, what do you want? And she was asking him, her, whoever relative or whoever he was to her, to just comply. And because he kept asking, what do you want? Which he had every right to know why he was being arrested. Why do you want me to put, first you want him to be arrested, then you want him to look for the license. I mean, it was like the inaccuracies of what he was calling for is enough to make, it would make some people say, well, just give him what he wants. Even though we know, even if he gave him what he wants, he's still the person is still not going according to, he's not given, well, the guy didn't commit a crime, in other words. So I'm saying, why are we looking at stuff like that during this climate, when it's that stuff like that is being created to further separate us, to make us think that even if it was a white person, it's not about white. It's a white officer and a average citizen. You know what I'm saying? It's about hate the police. When there are good police and there are bad police, there are good white people and there are bad white people. You know what I'm saying? And that's the premise of why I want to do this channel, is because let's just separate the good from the bad. I mean, and I'm not saying that, I'm not saying don't be proud of who you are, because I'm very proud of who I am and where I came from. That, hands down. I've been um, subject to racism, looking for an apartment is available when I'm on the phone, and all of a sudden when I show up, it's not available. Anyway, um, that's not my point. My point is, right now, we need to come together as a human race, trying to use the most appropriate words to fit what I'm saying. I feel that we need to come together as a human race, those that have compassion and moral standards, those that are not about the money. It's less about the money and more so about um, justice and fairness and love. And I froze again. I don't know if I'm freezing with you, but for some reason I'm freezing on this camera. Uh, well, it is what it is. All I'm saying, all of this to say that we have the answers within us. Let's get together. See it for what it is. Stop looking at the race car. Stop looking at the bad police officer as no, not looking. Stop looking at officers in general as being the problem when it's the officers that are part of that Freemason KKK. That's really basically what it's about, and it's all designed to keep us in a state of anger and distress and distraction from what is really going on, because there is a hidden agenda. And we do have the power to change it. Why I froze and I'm still froze, I don't know. Anywho, I'm going to put this on YouTube ASAP. Thank you, young Pharaoh. Peace, family. Love y'all. Love y'all.